Hello first graders and welcome to another English lesson. Today we continue the topic of education by talking about our usual school day. My name is Irena Pavlović and I will be your English teacher for the day. As always, let's see the expected outcomes at the beginning. By the end of this lesson, you will be able to compare your typical school day with those of students in other countries, and you will be able to create your ideal timetable. Before we start, make sure that you have everything you will need at hand: your notebook or piece of paper and something to write with. Also, a tablet or a computer with internet access. You already know that you can pause or replay the video every time you feel like doing it to make sure that you're learning at your own pace. So, let's start our topic. Think about your usual school day now, in high school. After spending 8 years in elementary school, you are now a high school student. Things must have changed. How would you describe your usual school day now? What would you mention? What is your most and your least favorite part of the school day? And how is it different from the school days in elementary school? Take a few moments, pause the video, and think about it. Organization of a school day is one of the features of a school system. And of course, as school systems are different around the world, school days are also not the same. They depend on the educational systems. You are going to hear Anniku, a girl your age, describing her typical school day in a boarding school she attends. Before you listen to the recording, make sure that you check what a boarding school is. That you find out what a homeroom class is, and that you know what Tamil is. These three items are important for understanding the text. If you're ready for the recording, let's go through some of the listening tips. Focus on keywords from the questions. Usually, questions accompany every listening task, and the wording in the questions is not the same as it is in the recording. So, think about the other ways of expressing the same things. You probably won't hear those exact same words used in the questions. Also, make notes while listening. It's useful because you will hear a lot of information. And finally, this particular recording is special because Anniku is from India. She speaks English with an accent and talks rather fast. When such a text is used for learning purposes, you can always replay it and listen to it several times. If it were a real communication situation, you'd probably have to ask her to speak more slowly or to repeat some of the things she says. Don't worry, that's normal and that's how conversations work in real life. So, let's move on to the recording. While listening, try to get the answers to the following questions. Which subjects does Anniku have on A days? Which subjects does she have on B days? What is her favorite subject? And which subject or subjects does she dislike? Let's listen.
My name is Anniku. I'm 15 and in the 8th grade currently. I attend a boarding school where my mum works. We have things called A days and B days. I will be telling you all my classes I have on a specific day. So, 7 a.m. is when school breakfast starts and we have to be in the common room at that time. Around 7:40 or 7:45 we all hang out for a bit and then go to homeroom, which is first period. We have to be in homeroom by 7:45 though. 7:55 is when homeroom starts. I have science of history. It is very difficult and I don't really like it. And currently I am failing in it. 8:55 is my second period, which is math. Now math I strongly like. It's really cool, especially when we do group projects and stuff. 9:55 is gym. Gym is okay. We do some stretching and warming up and then we play some sport. The only thing I don't like is going back to the classroom all sweaty. I wish we could take a shower, but we have to wait for it. 10:40 on AA day would be band. I play the tenor sax and although I'm good at it, I don't really like band because of some older students who make me feel uncomfortable. 11:25 is lunch. Lunch is the only time I get to spend with my friends I don't have any classes with. That's why these 30 minutes are sometimes the best part of my day. After lunch, at 11:55 we have history and that is actually cool. I like it, but most of the time, it's very confusing, and I have a bad memory so that's not good. 12:55 on AA day would be digital media. They used to call this subject IT. And it's pretty okay as we deal with topics about the internet and social media and we create websites. The last class of the day, at 1:40 is language arts. We have Tamil and English. I really love languages, so this is my favorite class and I always learn a lot. The teacher helps me a lot when I need it so. Well, she has to. After all, she is my mother. A schedule on AB day is the same, but at 10:40, I have world religion. And at 12:55 it would be French. You get to choose other foreign languages as well. I took Chinese but it was way too difficult so I asked for a transfer. French is much better and there are many words similar to English. It is almost 3 p.m. when classes finish and I am usually totally exhausted. Afternoons are for homework and project assignments and evenings are off. Altogether it is not that bad though I sometimes wish I wasn't a boarder. But it is as it is. There's nothing I can change.
Okay, I hope you managed to follow Aniko's presentation and talking about her school days. Let's see if you got all the answers right. Remember, you can replay the video as many times as you need it. So, the first question was, which subjects does Aniko have on A days? She has homeroom, history of science, math, gym, band, history, digital media, and language arts. On B days, which was the next question, she's got world religion instead of band and French instead of digital media. The other subjects do not change. Her favorite subject is language arts. She mentioned studying Tamil and English. The subjects that she doesn't like are history of science and band. So, while you were listening to Aniko, you heard her explaining stuff about everyday events. She was describing how things work from day to day. So, look at some of the things that she says. Which tense does she use? Those verbs pointed out in blue. Which verb form is it? Why? What can you say about that structure? We do some stretching and warming up, and then we play some sport. The only thing I don't like is going back to the classroom all sweaty. Lunch is the only time I get to spend with my friends I don't have any classes with. I really love languages. I always learn a lot. The teacher helps me a lot when I need it. Which structure is that? Of course, that is the present simple tense, one of the first verb forms that you learned in English. Let's revise it. Follow the link and open the infographic. Make sure that you can explain how present simple tense is formed, what kind of actions it is used for, and which time expressions usually accompany it. Make some notes in your notebook to have them in case they're necessary again. You have heard a little bit something about school day in India. Aniko described which school subjects she has every day. What about you? Which subjects do you have from Monday to Friday? How many have you got? Pause the video and complete the timetable with the names of the subjects you have on a daily basis. Once you do that, compare your timetable with Aniko's. Are there any differences? Of course there are. What about similarities? In the names of the subjects or in the duration of the school day? Can you guess what Anniku's subjects are all about? Think about it for a minute. And now let's move on to the next task. Create the timetable from your dreams. I'm pretty sure that you have the idea what a perfect school day would look like, what you'd have on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so on, how long the lessons would last, and how many breaks you would have. So, write down what you think is important. For example, what time the lessons start and finish, how long the breaks are, and how many there are. And then complete the timetable that you create with those your classmates have created. Can you use any of their ideas to improve your school days? Can you talk to the school student council about it? You never know what you can do. When you have created your ideal timetable, let's move on. Let's describe a usual school day. Compare it to Anniku's. Write a text of at least 120 words organized into 3 paragraphs. Use the present simple tense to describe your lessons, their duration and the number, the breaks and everything. Make sure that you double check grammar and spelling before you submit it. So, time for self-assessment. Do you think you can describe your usual school day? Do you think you can compare it to your peers in another country? And we are almost done. Time for some reflection before we finish. Think about the entire lesson and write 3 new words or phrases you learned during today's lesson. Also, write 2 words or phrases you heard during today's lessons, but you're not sure what they mean. And also, write 1 word or phrase you heard during today's lessons, but you have no idea what it refers to. When you do that, make sure that you check the meaning of the words you wrote down. That would be all for today. I really hope that you enjoyed today's lessons, and I wish you enjoy the rest of your day. Until we meet again, bye bye.